Hello guys, welcome to SLT Learning and good evening to all. So today we are going to start the second session of the free learning Selenium with the SLT Learning, right? So myself Ankit Prajapati and I am the QA automation engineers and I have more than 10 years of experience. So I have come on the webinar to share the free knowledge to you guys so you can learn freely and you can start your learning on the Selenium things. So in the first session we have learned about the Git, what is Selenium IDE, right? What is Selenium IDE and how we can how we can do this testing with the Selenium WebDriver. Then we have gone with the Selenium Grid as well. Then I show you what is how you can design the data driven and keyword driven framework, right? I also give you the understanding about the framework. Then we have learned about the test-ng as well, why the test-ng is useful, right? We use the test-ng to create the reports for the Selenium, because in the Selenium we do not have the inbuilt or the core functionality to create the reports. Then we learn about the Maven as well, right? How the Maven is useful. So all those things we have learned in our first session. So I will request you, if you have not gone through the first session, right, just go to the first session, so it will be very useful for you. And this is the fundamental you need to learn. Git and all those things are very important if you are working for the QA automation engineer, because in the automation you are writing the script, and when you are involved to write the script, right, you are also be involved in the source control management as well. So it is good to have those knowledge. Then today we are going to learn about the part 2, which is on the right side, about the POM, Cucumber, API testing and the database testing. Okay, so let's start with the POM itself, right? So many of you know what is POM, right? So POM is the simple term is the page object model. If you consider the POM, it should be the page object model, and this is one of the most popular design pattern. Always remember guys, this is not the framework. POM is not the framework, it's a design pattern. If they will ask you in the interview, sometimes they will try to confuse you, right? So what how the POM framework works, so you can always correct them. POM is not the framework, it's a design pattern, and we can use that design pattern in any of the framework like the data driven, keyword driven. We can also use in the Cucumber as well, right? Now how the POM work. So basic fundamental I will show you on the screen first by with designing, and then I will show you in the Eclipse how the structure is work, right? So simple term, the POM, right? The POM should be stand for page object. So the definition should come from the its name itself. Every page should be referred by the object, right? Let's suppose if we have one application, right? We have one web-based application. Now in the web-based application, we have different pages, right? We have login page, we have registration page, we have dashboard page, we have customer page, right? Then we have invoice page. So like that way in any application we have number of pages, right? So always make sure if you want to become a master to design a POM, right, you should have a good analytical skill, or you should have good mindset to identify the differentiate between the page functionality. If you are able to identify, okay, this is the functionality from this page itself, or this is the feature from this page, then and then you can write the proper page object model pattern. Okay, so now once we have all those page, right, so now what we need to do, what the page object model says, you should create separate Java class, means Java file for each page. You got my point? You need to create the Java class for the each page. So now what I will do, I need to start the page object model. So I will create the one file called login.java. I can just have the registration.java, right? So I have the Java class for each and every page, right? Now, what this Java class says, what this Java class do, guys? This Java class contain two things. Each Java class contains two things. Always remember these things. each and every Java class or page object model, right? It contains two things. They will ask you in the interview what the page object model Java class contains. So you should be know these things. So they contains object repository and methods of page. These two things they contain, right? So now they will also ask you what is object repository. So the object repository is the simple term. It's a collection of object. In the simple terms, you can say it's the collection of object. And what is the object is over here? Object is not the class object. Object means combination. Object means combination of web element plus its locators, right? Web elements and locators which is combined together, and that is called the object over here. So always remember these things. If they will ask you what is object repository, so you can say the object repository for the page is the collection of object which contain the different web element available on the web page with their locators. What kind of locators we are going to use? Now, what is a method of page? Means whatever the action you can perform on the page, that is called the method of the page. Like if we are talking about the customer page, right? So on the customer page we have the find customer, we have the add new customer, we have the edit customer. So all those are the action that we make on the customer page. So for that we need to create separate method. If somebody wants to add a new customer, right, then what parameters he or she need to pass? We can create the add new customer method. So this is how the each class in the page object model represent the Java class, right? So for the login page, we need to create the login page.java, right? Then for registration page, we need to create registration page.java. And under the each Java class, like the login.java and the registration.java, we have the object repository for those particular class and the methods, right? So now let me tell you one thing, right? Let me tell you one thing. Now let me show you in the Eclipse itself. So let me just go to my Eclipse, right? I have one, yeah, this is page object model, right? So you can see the structure over here. I created one Java project, not the Maven project, right? I have created one Java project and I manually created this package com.app.pages. So over here, what is content? It contains all the pages. You see, it says login.page. So if I open the login.page over here, and I will show you, this is object repository. You see in the login page what we have. So in login page we have username, password, button, forgot password link, and for each of them I have written the their respective locators by the XPath, by the name, and all those things. So that is called the object repository of the login page. Then again on the login page what we have the different methods, right? Validate the page title, login into the functionality. Then we can also have the remember me checkbox. Click on the remember me button, right? So all those things, the functionality available on the login page. The login function, we need to pass username and password. Then we can just pass this three simple line, and it will return as a dashboard page. You see, once we have the return of the class itself, you see the dashboard is a class over here. So that is called the page chaining model. What is the page chaining model? When one page action returning the object of the another page, that is called the page chaining model. Okay. So they might be asked you in the interview, have you worked with the page chaining model? So if you are working with the page object model, then you should be aware about the page chaining model as well. And the page chaining model is nothing, it's just a return type of your method. Instead of void or integer or string, you are returning the class object itself. So dashboard page it's returning over here from the login page. You see the login.java. Now, while working on the page object model, you understand for each and every page, please make the separate class. But what is about the common action, right? But what about the common action, right? If we talk about the common action, that means the set up the WebDriver property, the set up the base URL and all those things. So for that, we create the base class. Base class, that means base class dot java, right? So from the base class what we do, we define all the common methods, common actions we perform for our Selenium test case. Not about that page, for the Selenium test case, right? Like a setup or tear down method. So this is the two common method we normally use for the page object model for the base class, right? So over here we need to pass this information. So now let me just show you the base class of the simple way. So you see, this is the base class I have created. See, so I have initiate method over here. I just define my URL, the base URL in the base class itself, and I am just opening the I'm just setting up the driver property. I'm just maximize the window, implicit wait, page load timeout, and I'm just opening the method over here, the driver.get, right? So this is we can use in the real test, in our real test. So now this is become the three pages: base class, dashboard. The base class should be the base, all the basic common methods we normally set up. For the dashboard page, we have dashboard, and for the login page, we have login methods and the object repository. Now we are going to write a login page test. You see why the login page test is different than login page? What is the difference between over here? Over here we normally write the object repository and the common action, but over here we write the actual test case based on which, you see over here, the actual test case, how you can validate, how you can verify, how you can verify the login if you are on the right page or not, how we can close the information. So over here we write our actual test case for the verification, and over here we just write the functionality, how the things will work, how the action will make. Over here we write the actual verification. You see, we are putting the asset over here and all those things. We are also verifying the object of the dashboard page. Once we make the successful login, right, with the username and password, we need to have the successful object of the dashboard page. So now you see I have used the test ng annotation over here. So now if I will run this particular class, it will be give me it will utilize this base class, the login page class, each and every class, and it will be help me to complete my test, right? So you see I have used the init method from the I have used the init method from the setup. Setup is the my first method before method. So in the init, you see it will come from over here in the base class, because I have extended, I have inherited the base class from over here. That's the reason it is coming over here. So I'm setting up, I am creating the login page object to access the login page method and login page information. You see the login page method I'm using, validate page title, right? So validate page title means I'm going to validate the page title using this method, validate page title. So now I need to call this method. So for that I need the object of that particular class. So I create the object itself in the setup method, and I use it, and I can add it over here, and I just assert those information, right? If I right click and run this particular as a test ng, you can see the action. You see, I am using one test application for the testing purpose. I will add the information in my video itself, right? How you can do you can utilize this particular testing. So you can see this is the application I use, and now it load and it validate the title first. Now it will load and log in again for the second test case, priority 2, and it will be help us to go to the dashboard page. You see it will enter the username and password over here and click on the button, and it's closed down. So it says two of the method of mine is successfully done. You see both the method are successfully done over here. So this is how the page object model work, guys. And what is the advantage of page object model? It's simple. If we differentiate between the core page functionality, right, and the core page test cases, though it will be easy for us to manage. Let's suppose now your login page object are using to multiple test case, right? And if somebody change those information, right, so you need to go to each and every test case and you need to modify. But if we have the proper object repository, then we can only modify the content over here. If in case in change in the locators, or if it is any change in the field, we can change it by over here. So each and every automation tool like SOAP UI, like the SOAP UI, Catalog Studio, right? So everyone has their inbuilt object repository. But this is again one of the famous interview questions. They will definitely ask you what is the object repository. So you need to make sure the object repository is the combination of the web element available on the web page and their locators. Okay. Now let's we jump to the next topics of today's agenda, which is Cucumber. Let me just delete this one, and we will learn about the Cucumber. So nowadays Cucumber is very famous, guys. Why very famous? Because it is Cucumber framework is very easy. Cucumber is not a framework, sorry. Cucumber is a tool, and BDD is the framework, right? So what is BDD framework do, guys? The BDD framework is stand for behavior driven development, right? For the behavior driven development, we do the behavior driven testing as well, and for that we use Cucumber tool, right? Always make sure BDD is the behavior driven development, and for that we do the testing, and for that we use the Cucumber tool. Okay. So what is Cucumber tool? Cucumber tool is the one of the most widely used tool because it is easy to understand, because it's take a use of the jerkin language. And when I just say jerkin language, right, that means easy plain English text language. It's very simple. And why people introduce the Cucumber in the BDD? Because they want their business analyst, they want their manual tester to be a part of the automation suite. So over here, how they will involve? They will rewrite the feature files. Again, what is the feature files? I will let you know. So this is basic. This is Cucumber, right? Cucumber and the BDD framework. Now, how to install the Jenkins files and all those things, you can easily I have one video on that. You can just refer that video, but I will show you quickly. You can just go to help, right, and marketplace, and you can search over here. You can search over here the Cucumber, right? And once you search over Cucumber, it will be show you the option for the Jenkins language, right? You can just simply like a Maven, you can just simply go and install it, right? I think it's taking a too much time, so let's we skip that one. I will put the steps over here, but it will be very easy. You can just search the Jenkins. You can just write down the Jenkins or Cucumber over here. It will give you the option, right? Just click on install. It will install in your application. And once you install, right? And once you install that particular, just hold on, let me finish. Okay. And once you install that particular Jenkins language to your Eclipse, then and then it allow you to create the feature files, right? Now, Cucumber, if you want to learn a Cucumber, always remember three things, guys. You need to focus on three things. First is feature files. Feature files creation. So what is feature files? Feature file is nothing, is a text kind of file, but it has the extension called feature, right? Always make sure it's feature, not the features. We do not include s over here. So I will just say login.feature. So whatever the login page features is available there, I can write in the login.features, right? Now let me just tell you the basic simple example of the login test case, right? So if you write the login test case, then what we will say is, okay, launch the URL, launch the application, verify the login page. This is our manual test case. I will show you how the Jenkins language modify these things. Verify the login test case, then enter username and password, right? Then what else we do? Then we can do the enter or click on login button, right? Then what we can do after clicking on login button, we can verify the dashboard page, which is what is the next page we come after the login. So this is our manual test, right? This is our manual test. Now I need to write using the Jenkins language. So Jenkins language use the few of the keywords, which is like when, then, and kind of keyword. There are list of keywords you can just refer, right? But these are the few formats like the when, then, and, right? So how I can convert this am test in the Jenkins language? So I will just say, or we can also have given given as well. So I can just say given launch the application, right? So launch the browser and application is already given. So over here given is a keyword. Then what I will do, then verify the login page title, right? The then will become the keyword. Then I will just say, then enter username and password, right? So then is again the keyword of the Jenkins language, and is also the keyword in the Jenkins language. I can also have over here and click on login button, right? Click on login button. That means you are utilizing the same things. Then verify the dashboard page. So this is the things, guys. This is the difference. This is the difference. This is our manual test case. This is our manual test case, and this is our feature file test case. And we can utilize our manual tester who know the application, the business analyst, to write the feature file for us. So this is the one portion, right? So this is the one part of the Cucumber. Write the feature files with the feature extension. Okay, so I'm just writing over here. I'm just putting it over here, right? Now what is the second things? The second thing is that, just hold on, let me just arrange these things so it will have on your screen, right? It will have on your screen, and you can, when you're watching this video, or you can take a screenshot of this video as well, right? So this is the things we have for the BDD. Now this is the first things. Now what is the second things? Once you create the feature files, right, you need to create your runner class, test runner class. So test runner class will be the Java class in which use the JUnit annotation, not the test ng, guys. Cucumber always work with JUnit, okay? Because it has some inbuilt libraries and the files which support the Cucumber development. So that's the reason. So we normally create the test runner.java class. So it will be look like test runner.java class, right? And the test runner.java class will help us to define, what it will help us to define the Cucumber options, right? What are the different Cucumber options like? So I will show you in a while, but few of them are how to configure these feature files, right? How to make the uh, strict keyword, the reports keyword over there, right? How to make the proper reporting using the Cucumber. So that's the reason we can use the Cucumber option over here. Then is glue as well. We can use the glue as well. So all those things we can use for our in the test runner class. So this is the second thing, guys, test runner, right? First thing will be the feature file, then we have test runner, then the third will, what we had third, then the third is again the Java class. Third one is again the Java class, which is the definition file, step definition file. Step definition file, right? Step definition file, or you can just say step definition Java class, another Java class. What it contain? It contain Selenium plus Java code to perform action, actual action. This will contain actual actions. How you can write the code over here, right? And it contain the, what it else contain? It contain the JUnit annotations, guys, over here, like the @test and all those things. It will contain the step definition.java file. So we have the Java, another Java class called login definition.java. So over here we write our actual Selenium code, which we normally write, right? We write it over here. So guys, we have three things. You got my point. We have three things over here. We have feature files. Let me just circle it. If you are just joined, we have we have feature files, then we have test runner class, and then we have step definition file. If you remember, if you understand these things, one is feature files with the dot features, then we have Java class for the test runner with the dot Java extension, then we have another Java class which is for the step definition, where you got all the step definition information, right? So that is called the Cucumber framework. If somebody asks you, okay, how the Cucumber framework work, if you explain me like that way, you will give the 10 out of 10. But you need to make sure what the feature file contain. It's contained Jenkins keywords related manual test cases, right? And what test runner class contain, it's contained the Cucumber options, right? And the JUnit annotations on initial base, what is step definition file and all those things. So you need to remember these things. Let me show you now these things. So let me just close this one. We already did these things. Let me close this one. So I have the BDD over here. So you see, for the feature files, I have created one feature. I have created a different feature. I will show you. But this is my simple feature file, login.feature. So all the files you can see has the dot feature over here, right? And using the Cucumber, we can also do the data driven testing as well. So there are three or multiple way to achieve the data driven testing. I will show you the syntax over here, but for that I have created the one separate video how you can achieve the Cucumber using the data driven approach. You can refer my channel, you can just refer that video. It is from the base practical things. So you see, I have written the my feature files over here. You see, let me just do one thing. Let me just increase the font. It will be easy for you guys to just mm, where is, okay, okay, you see the given then, and this is a syntax, guys. Features, there is no space between over here. Then you can just write down what is the features, the login features. Then the scenario keyword is used to describe the test scenario. What is the test scenario over here? And these are our test steps. If you know the manual thing, right? Test scenario and the test steps. So this is how you can write the feature files. And most of the company, like I am working with the one of the US project, right? So they have the manual tester and the business analyst team who write these things, right? So if in an interview they will ask you, okay, you know the BDD framework, so what is your role? If you don't know much about the automation stuff, you can make sure, yeah, I am the part of the writing the feature files. Because in the big project you have the thousand and all many feature files to write. So once the manual tester write the feature files, right, it got verified. And once this is verified, right, then the test runner class is very simple. You see, I have created a separate package for test runner class. And if you jump over here, it's simple. This is the code you need to remember for the test runner class. These are the different Cucumber options. You see, these are the different Cucumber options, right? So you always make sure to add the Cucumber. And when you work on the Maven project, right, there are the list of pom.xml that you need to add for the Cucumber. You see the Cucumber, this one. So I will do one thing. You can just I will send this file. I will attach this file in the video tutorial, right? So you can download these things, the complete pom.xml. Just as replace this dependency section only, guys. Don't do anything else. Just replace the dependency section and you will get everything which is required to support the Cucumber. And another things, you need to just download the generic plugin from the help and the Eclipse marketplace. Now you have the login feature files, test runner class. So two things you have already clear. Now we need to create the step definition files, guys. So how you can do, this is very simple shortcut that I am going to tell you today. No, you will not find in any tutorial. So let me just tell you, always do not need to focus on any syntax. Once you have this runner class, just save it, right click and just click on the JUnit. Once you run this one, right, once you run this one, what will happen, just see, right? So now it says login.feature and scenario. You see all the steps over here, all the steps. So nothing got run over here. So now let me just check the console. So if I just take the console over here, it said me, you see over here what it says, you can implement the missing step definition. So what I will do, I will copy these things. I will copy these things. So I get the code structure. I no need to write manually. I just take the copy, and what I will do, I will create one package. What package I will create for the step definition, the third thing, right? And I will just create one Java class. As you know, the step definition require the Java class login step definition.java. So I will create one Java class, and I will just say login step definition, right? And I will create. I will not add the main method because this is the JUnit Java class. I will click on finish. So once I will have this one, I will just paste it over here. You see, my file is ready. Now I need to just add a code. The simple code that you and me always write in the Selenium. I will just remove these things, unwanted stuffs, right? I will remove these things. So always make sure your number of methods, your number of methods available in the step definition file always match with the number of steps you have mentioned in the feature files. Always remember, if you missing any steps, it will give you the error to import the information. Now I will mouse over and import from the JUnit. You see in the Cucumber option, the Jenkins files. So then is also imported. So I have no error now. Everything is fine. So now you see, set up the system property and browser. So this is the syntax. This sign and this sign should be there, and this name should be matched over here. This one, right? For that you can use the option called dry run true, right? If you says dry run true, that means it will check the mapping between step definition file and the feature file steps, right? So always use a dry run true. Okay, and you always add these particular features. They will ask you, okay, what is the feature files features? So you just always says we need to set up the feature file location over here. So for that, feature option is used. Then what is glue? Glue is used to combine the step definition file, the step definition package. You need to define the step definition package itself. Then dry run is to check the mapping. Then monochrome is to for the good reporting. These both are used for the reporting, the clear cut reporting purpose. Okay, now this is our file, right? Let me save it. Now let's we go. Okay, let me remove these things as well. Now I will add my code, and you see how quickly I can add my code. So first it says I have already created one file over here, the BDD. So it says setup. Okay, I will add this code, and you will easily realize how the thing is easy. So you see, I just added my setup code, and I need to define the my public driver over here. So I will just add this line over here, right? I will add this line, and I just import these things. So guys, you see, in the setup system, we need to just write down these things. I will also import this one, Chrome as well. I can also import to timeout, right? Then it says launch the URL means driver.get, only simple. So I will add this one URL. So I will just say launch URL, right? Then it says user is on login page. Then we need to verify the login page. So what I will do, I will just say actual title and the expected title. I will just asset it, right? Then what it says, okay, let me just import in the JUnit. Okay, then what it says, enter the username and password. So I will locate the username and password, and I will enter the information. So I already have done for you to save the time. So I have two elements, right? I will import this one from the Selenium. So I have done, I will import from the Selenium. So I have done this one, two locators and two password. I will just send the information, send key username and password, right? Then click on the button. Then I will also have the click on the button, and I'm just after the clicking, I will just giving the 5 minutes, 5 second waits to verify to load onto the another page, and we have the actual page title to verify the dashboard page. Again the same thing. So guys, it is very simple, right? You have the each and every method. You need to just define some short of the code. That's it. Then at the last we can just say driver.close, right? So this is that. This is done. So now what we will do, I will run this particular login.definition file. I will right click and just says run as, but no, we cannot run this one because this is a step definition file which we already given the reference over here. So I will just click on the run over here. So I will make sure dry run true, that means it will only check the mapping, but if you run your actual code, always turn it to false. Otherwise it will not run your actual code which is available in the step definition file. It will only check the mapping. So I will make it false, and now it will run the actual code. So I will right click and just says run as JUnit. So now it will take the step definition file from the glue, right, and it will start running our test cases. So you see it's launched the application, the same test case which we have checked, it is doing the same way. You see, launching the browser, entering the username and password, clicking on the login button, step by step the method is going to be called, and we are closed. So now if you see over here, the reports in the Cucumber looks much better, you see. So that's the reason people use the Cucumber. The reports looks much better. If I just right click and refresh this project, I can see HTML report over here. So I can just go to this one and I can open this index.html. I can just go to property. We can send this file. We can send this file to our manager, and you see how the reports look like. You see, if it is failed, it will come in the red color, and what is the error message over there, it will come over here as well, right? So you can make the one step case failed, and you can see how the fail is work. You can give the error message as well. So this is how the Cucumber is work. Now the two approach of the Cucumber with the keyword, the scenario and the scenario outline. So scenario outline will help you to do the data driven approach, means you can run the same functionality with a different set of data using the example keyword. So they will ask you what is the difference between the scenario and scenario outline. So you can say the scenario can be used for the simple scenario writing the file, where the scenario outline is used with the example keyword, where you can pass the number of the test data to run the same functionality again and again. So you see the syntax. See the syntax, guys. So syntax will get changed little bit. You need to say username like that way, use password like that way. Then this use this pi sign. This should be match over here, and the admin and password. So if you go to my channel, right, I think I have already, you see the Cucumber, you see the Cucumber data driven approach. So I have explained these things clearly. I will mention in this video, I will put this line over here which is already mentioned in the detailed way, so you can just go through this video, okay, how we can utilize these things. You see the code itself, and I have covered in the proper way, so you can just go
The
through this one.
syntax.
This is very useful. Now let's jump to the third topic, guys, for today's session, which is API testing. Many of you have the questions about the API testing, right? API testing we can do in the two way: manual using the Postman, and the automation we can use the rest assured library for the Selenium, right? So I will show you the little bit of these things as well. So everything we are covering in the one session, right, guys? This is how I put the webinars, so you can get every clear doubts. So API testing. So what is API? The application programming interface, right? The simple term, simple example of the API means you are using some inbuilt information on the company, right? So let's suppose if Uber created the taxi booking app, right? So they do not need to create the Google map to locate the drivers, to locate the customer. So they take the call from the Google API, which is Google Map API, and they use those information, right? They use those information to make sure they can add those functionality in their particular application. So nowadays people are looking for the services which is already built. Now suppose if you are creating the stock market application, right? So you cannot create the logic of the stock market algorithm from scratch, because it is very depth, and it might be take 1 or 2 years for your developer to create that. For that, what you do, you can ask the many big companies like the we have the many companies like the Nasdaq related companies, right, which is one of the company I'm not getting the name, but it is Bloomberg. Yes, you can ask the Bloomberg to give the API for the free, right? So you can fetch the data of each and every stock from that API, and you can just display in your application, right? So it will save you lots of time to create the same thing which is available on the Google. So that is called the API. The API will be useful to exchange the data, to exchange the information between two applications, right? So now what is web service, guys? So let me tell you the one simple difference. The web service will do the same things, but the web service will do the same things over the internet. You got my point? API can be within the one application. In the one application, we can have multiple API calls, add new user, add update new user, everything in the one application. But when it's come go to over the internet, that means Ola is using the API from the Google Map API, right? That is over the internet. Then it will become the web service. Always we remember this, guys. What API is something which is related with the internal things, right? Where the web service is something we do over the internet, where we have two big companies APIs working together. That is called the web service. So now let me just show you one of the web service I have created, right? So what we have in the API testing, we have four operations, basic four operation. So API is the application programming interface, which can be the internal to the application, internal to the application. So we have one application contain many API calls, right? Then we have web service, which is same as API but over the internet. Ola and Google Map API is the best example, right? Ola uses Google Map API to locate the map, to locate the distance between two source and destination and all those things. So this is something you need to remember, guys. This is very useful. What is web service and what is API? Okay. Now, what is the common actions, common methods we do when we test the API? So we have four methods. We have post. You must be have here. We have post. We have put. Then what we have else? We have post put. Then we have delete. Right. After the post put, we have delete. Then we can also have get. Right. So these four methods you need to remember, guys. What post will do? It will create the data, right? Simple, in simple term, guys, it will create the data. So it will create the data, then it will update the existing data, guys. It will update the existing data. Then it will get list of existing data. It means it will get the list of existing data, whatever the customer detail you have, right? If you want to update the customer detail, you need to use put. If you want to create a new customer, you need to use post. If you want to get the list of customer, you can use get. Then delete, as the name says it will delete the application. Sorry, it will delete the application data which is exist, right? So this is the four things we need to make sure. When we learn the API testing, you should have the mastery to perform these four things, even in the manual, in the automation, right? For the manual, we use the Postman, right? So let me just show you the Postman. You can download the Postman plugin, or you can use the Google Chrome extension as well for the Postman, right? So once you install, you will see the simple this screen as well, right? So now let me tell you one of the one of the mostly asked interview question in the API testing: how you can create the collection in the Postman. And what is the collection? The collection is nothing. The collection is just a group of similar API calls. So like if we are making the API calls for one modules, so we can collect, we can store in the collection folder. Collection is simple, a folder which is available in the Postman, which store all the similar API calls. That's it, nothing else, right? So now let's we go one thing. Let's we click on this one, and I have one API. I will add this API over here. You can find in the Google as well. This is very useful, right? I will put the link in my video. Okay. So it says get all the users. So this is the API. So if I copy this one and I will click on over here, you can select the option. You see get, put, delete, many option over here. But we will focus on this for mainly use. So I will just select get, put the API call. You see, this is the API call. This is the URL, and this is the syntax of the API. That is called the URI as well. Sometimes they will refer as a URI as well, right? Which is URL plus API call. That is called the URI. Always remember the URL. So what is the URL over here? If you see, this is the URL, and this is the API call which we make user, right? Now I select the get method, I put these things, and I will click on the send. So it will run the code. And you see over here it is giving me the output, guys. It is giving me the output, the ID 7 of Michael Lawson and all those things, right? ID 8 will be the Lindsay and all those things. So it will give me the information. Now what I need for any one user. So I will says ID 7. I will take the ID 7, right? So over here it says user, single user. So I will just say users, and instead of page I will just say ID, or I will just, this is again the get, because we are getting the information. So I will just say ID should be the 7. So only this information, the Michael Lawson information will come. So I will just say ID 7 and send. You see, so only that particular user information is coming over here now, right? So now I need to change something over here. Or first let's we create the new one. So when you change to the post to create the newer, or I will just do one thing, the get one, I will save it. You see the save, I will just save this one. I will just give the request name get user individual user info. Now you see, while saving it is asking me like a create a collection. So I will just say API calls like a folder, right? When we bookmark any URL, the Google also asks us in which folder you need to get, like a folder. We create the collection, and I will just add in this collection, save as API call. So now this is saved. Now if I go to collection, you see I have one API call. Now I will add one more. So over here I will just say post. So in the post we need to put some data. We need to give some data to create a new user. So for that we have some information. So for post, this is our URI. So I will just keep till user. I will not say user 2 or 3, right? Because we need to create new user. And what I will do under the body, right? The body, I will just go to row, and I will add this text, right? I will add this text. My name. I will create my user. Name is QA, job is equal to QA automation, Ankit Prajapati. Okay. I will just say Ankit Prajapati, and I will click on send. You see, this is a post. And now if I just go to URL, it says, yeah, the new user is created successfully on this date, and this is the ID 201. Now I will go to this one, and I will just say 201 over here, and I just click on send. Okay, just hold on. Yeah, I think it's not added into the application, right? So ID will be new created for the application Ankit Prajapati, right? So this is again creating a new application. So I will save it, and I will just say create new user, right? And I will add in the same collection file. I will select the same collection file. So now you see in the collection I have two requests. So the same way you can do the edit, update, and delete as well, guys. So let me just select the new one. Sorry, let me just add a new one, and I will just say put to modify the information. So for the put, I will give the user ID. So I will just give the user ID of mine 210, right, which is ID of mine. And I will under the body, under the row data, what I will do, I will just say Ankit from QA engineer to manager. Yeah, and I will just see the output. You see, updated on this date. Now the Ankit information is updated. So if I will go with this one, I don't know, because it they have their, might be they have their server is not going to upload the things straight away, right? So might be reason of that. But you will see that information if I just say get the users, right? If I just says get the users now, and you see if that information is coming over here, isn't it? So Next result and all those things. Let me keep this one. Let me just create the new one, and I'll just say these things, and that's it. Right. So now we have new things. So over here, yeah. But now it is only showing the six results. So let's we says my one is to update these things. You need to just says name should be same. I just update the job title from QA automation to engineer. Now if I need to delete anything, I will just change it to delete and just give the name link. So same way, I'll just give the user ID over here, which user I need to delete. Right? Let's we see if they allowed us. No, I think they will not allow us to delete. I think let me take this one and I will create new one. I will just say delete. So guys, you can play with this Postman. It is totally free, right? It is not showing the proper message, but this is how you can delete the user as well. So get, put, post and delete. This is using the Postman. It is very simple. Just launch the Postman and start working from today itself. If you get any doubts, any questions, talk to me on my social media accounts. Okay. Now the same thing we will do using the automations. So I got one of the API testing projects, the Get JPM API. Right? So for that I have written some of the code. Let me just show you the file. So what you need to do? Yeah, let me show you this one. You see in the Maven project, you need to just add these things. Yeah, rest assured, the dependency. Rest assured dependency you will use, and then you can just write the code like that way. Okay, I will send you this project with you, and this will work as simple term like the get weather data. You see the rest assured base URL, the base URL. This is also one of the API. You can use these things, right? So you can find in the Google itself REST API demo qa.com utilities weather.city. You can find this URL in the Google itself. You can use it, will give you the city wise weather report. So here I'm just creating the base URL. I am creating the request parameter, right? I am sending the request, HTTP request. I will create, I whenever I get the time, I will take the class of the from the detail how you can do the API testing using the REST assure. But this is the code, right? You can verify using the status code. You can verify using the status line. So you see over here, whenever we do any operation, right? Whenever we do any operation, it says I just says done, right? Over here it says status code is okay, 200 status code, time taken, size. So all those information we can do to verification. What time for the performance testing, what is the size for the verification. We can also check the status code. You see, we can save the response in the file as well. So the same thing we will do over here. Status code, status line, response, we will save the response, right? And we can do the testing using the API as well, using the REST assure. The same way it will work. Request specification, HTTP request, you need to give on to HTTP request. The parameter you need to pass first time should be this one and all those things. Okay. So this is how the thing is work in the API, the automation using the Maven project. You need to add the pom.xml with the REST assure libraries, right? Perfect. So let me go to the last one, the database testing. So what is a database testing, guys? So database testing is nothing. Let me just tell you one thing. Let's suppose if we have one application, right? If we have one application which has the form, which has the form like the first name, last name, and mobile number, right? This form we need to fill up, right? And you need to do the testing for this form. So what will happen once the user enters submit button? Then you have the one table in the MySQL or SQL or Oracle. You have one table name called table name called user, and you have primary key ID, then you have first name, then you have last name, then you have mobile number, right? These columns you have in your table, you have this column in your table. So what will happen once you submit this information, right? Once you submit this information, let me just take it over here. It will be easy for me to show the mapping. Once you submit this information, this is a GUI form. This is a GUI form, GUI form, and this is the database table. So once you enter this information, once you click on the submit, it will enter the information over here and create the unique ID for the user. It will create the unique ID, right? It will be the ascending or descending order. It will create the unique ID. So now if I need to verify from the database testing, right, my data is successfully entered or not. So what I will do, I have this data, I have these values. So let's suppose in the first name I pass the SLT, in the last name I will say learning, and the mobile address is 9925648373, right? So I have this data while entering the details, right? Now if the same value is entered in the table or not, what I will do, I will fetch the information from this table using the JDBC connection. JDBC connection for connection driver, connector connector driver in Java. Java uses the JDBC connector driver, right? So I will create the connection with the Java class. I will fetch the table details. I will fetch the select star from user table limit one. I will say limit one because I need the last one. Order by descending. So I need the last entry which got entered in the database, and I will take the column name. I will take the value from first name. I will take the last name. I will take the mobile number. So I have the value over here. Now what I will do, I will compare, I will assert this value block to this value block. If they are matching, right, if they are matching, that means our detail has entered successfully into the database, right? So show you the simple terms what I have did. I have simply create one simple program. What it will do, it will fetch the first name from the MySQL database table, and it will go to the google.com. In the search bar, it will paste that name only. So let me show you that things. Where is the DB things? What is the DB things? Training the database. Okay, DB testing, right? Again, the Maven project is there. In the pom.xml, you need to add the MySQL connector because I am using the MySQL workbench, right? You can install the MySQL, you can create the table over here, guys. It is very simple. I have created the couple of video as well if you are a learner in the MySQL, right? So if you go to my channel, right, you can see the MySQL video as well. Let me just go to over here. So you can see the MySQL operations if you are learn the DDL operation and all those things.
So in the black
So
box,
you can just learn it from over here. It will be very easy for you to understand, and it very useful. The MySQL is also very useful. So this is how you can create your account. This is how you can create the account, and you can have the table structure over here. You see. So now let me show you the code. So I added these things. I added only Selenium, TestNG, and MySQL dependency in my pom.xml. And what I have, I can just go to over here utility. I just said DB test, right? So you see the DB test I have completely put over here. So let me just minimize this thing. So how it work? Same way we do the Selenium. It will set up the information and all those property driver and all those things, base URL and everything. Now these things you need to remember. It will create the class, right? The JDBC connector class. This is for the MySQL. If you're using the Oracle, you need to put the Oracle class over here. If you're using any other database, SAP HANA, then you need to put the SAP HANA database information over here. And after the loading the class of the JDBC for MySQL, what I am doing, I'm just printing one statement, JDBC driver loaded. Then I will create the connection. And you know, at the time of learning, you also know to create the connection, what we required the connection string, right? What is the connection string? What is the username and password? So over this is my connection string, right? This is my connection string, and if you just go to over here, this is my database name, right? This is my database name, and this is my connection. Let me just show you again. Let me, okay, you see over here I can find my connection information, local hosts 3306, and what is the username, root. So all those information I can use over here, localhost 336 root, and this is the password I get created when I install this MySQL workbench. So once you install these things, it will really ask you to set up the password, so always remember those password. This is very useful. And this is the JDBC MySQL localhost 3306, which is default port for the MySQL. This is again interrogation, guys. If they will ask you what is the default port for the MySQL, always go for this one. Then username, root, and password. Then I says connected to the MySQL database. Now I use the one statement class for the statement object. I will create one statement, and that statement I will execute with this statement. You see this line I am executing, select star from city limit 1, and which is stored in the result set rs. So use this syntax, you need to remember. Statement, once we create the statement, we need to execute in the query mode, so it will give you the result, store the result, and put the while loop for the result. So what I am going to do, I am just saying string city name rs dot get name, right? So now if I open these things, right, if I open these things, if I just says my table city column, right, you just city table and column is name. So over here I am doing the same thing, city table, right, I'm fetching the star means all the columns, but over here I'm specifying what column I need, and then I'm just saying driver dot find element by dot name and q, which is a locator of this search box. If you go to google.com, right, if you go to google.com, if you just right click and go to inspect, right, so this is the name is equal to q, so this is the locator for this search box over here, and I'm just entering the name which I get from the city name, which I get from the column name field, right, and we are loading the google.com over here itself. So let me run this one. So basic thing guys, you just keep learning. In near future what I will do, I will try to come up with again, and I will give you the detailed video for each and every topics. But this is why I have created the mixed topics. You see, the first city will be Kabul, so that's the reason it will launch and just search for the Kabul. Simple, it says successfully pass, everything is fast. So this is how the database testing work guys. Connect to the database using the JDBC driver, put your query, fetch the column from the query value. You can also match, if I need to match the values as I show you in this one, you can use the same thing, right? So this is the information you can use guys. So far we have covered many things, right? And if you want to go in detail things, you can see the API testing. For the API testing I have write the blog as well, so I will add this blog URL in my post. So over here in my free time I am writing the blog for each and every things. So you can see the test ng tutorial as well, so test ng blog over here as well. Just go through that things, right? Oh, I think I have some internet issue, no worries, right? So you can also reach me on my SLT learning page, right? I am also available on the SLT learning page, so you can reach me out over there as well guys. Then we can have many things. You can also visit my this online tutorial. This is created by myself itself, and I am getting very number of good subscriber. In last 1 month I got it more than 300 now. So you can subscribe to my channel, watch the video, watch the first part as well if you have missed that things. So now at the end of the day, what is happening, I'm also available on the LinkedIn, so you can just go to my profile, you can connect me via LinkedIn as well. I can help you over there as well, so we can stay connected over there as well, right? And now once we have done these things, so we have almost covered, right guys, we have almost covered each and everything. Git, Selenium IDE, Selenium WebDriver, form.xml, and Maven, data driven testing, how you can create the framework, what is TestNG, what is POM, Cucumber API, database testing. So all the topics which you required initial kick to learn the Selenium, learn the automation, I have covered in these two videos, right? If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, right, and put your valuable comments, so it will be helpful for me. If you want to learn something new topics, or want me to create a detailed video for any of the things with the practical drawing on the MS Paint, and with the actual example in the Selenium or in the Eclipse, you just write down in the comment box. I will definitely create the video, and I will select the topics, and I will come with you guys to do such webinars in the near future as well. Till the time, take care, have a wonderful evening guys. Hope you find this particular video is very useful to you. So just like, share, and subscribe to the group in your learner. Okay, thank you very much, have a great evening and great weekend guys. Thank you, take care, bye.